Bon dia and welcome to today's episode of Tristan Take Video. Today is Saturday and I am going to ride my bike through not one, not two, but three different countries. Bon dia.
First time late.
Ever.
Sorry, I know.
You're right. You have your gloves.
Yeah, I have my gloves.
Okay, I have gloves. Should we get rolling?
Yeah. Hey, big dog. There you go.
Just Andorra things, just riding past Julian Alaphilippe on his mountain bike. Yo, alright, so we're just at the top of the Porta Envalira. We've done like 2 hours of riding and only about 38 kilometers, like 1,600 meters of vertical, 1,700 meters of vertical. So we're at the very, very top of Andorra.
Highest pass in the Pyrenees.
Is that true?
Yeah, it is.
It is?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. 2,400 meters. You've just come back from a bit of a team bonding camp.
Yeah, a couple of beverages, a little bit of team bonding, a little bit of chit chat, a lot of dancing. It was a good time. Everyone needs that little moment together as a team to loosen up and have a little bit of fun.
And Ben and I needed a chance to catch up and not film vlogs. So I'm going to crack on from here. We are just, well, I am just about to pass into France. Ben is doing only 3.5 hours today. So
yeah, gotta keep a lid on it.
Yeah, keep a
It's
lid
his
on it
only
this
November.
early. He's going to turn around. I'll keep going. Say goodbye to Ben. Put your warmers on.
See you, mate. Enjoy it.
100%, yeah. Nice bit of snow. All right, see you soon.
Yeah.
Alright, so I've just dropped Ben off at the top of the Porta Envalira and he's headed back down to go and I head home. He's only doing a few hours of training today because it's so early in the season for him. He's just kind of very slowly getting back into it, whereas I want to take advantage of the fact that I've got some sun and the weather's dry to do this Three Nations loop. So to explain what the Three Nations loop is, the Three Nations loop is quite a popular ride if you live in Andorra. It's either a ride you can do clockwise or anti-clockwise. It's a big loop and as the name suggests, it goes between three different countries. You can either start in Andorra and go into France first and then descend down into Spain and then across and back up to Andorra, or you can start in Andorra and you can head straight south and then do the loop in an anti-clockwise direction. So the full route of this ride is about 150 k's long and it's got about 2,500 meters climbing or a bit more, so a nice climby day. Today I'm doing it in the clockwise direction. I picked up Ben from his place and we headed up to Col d'Ordino. We went over the Col d'Ordino, just caught up the whole way, so I wasn't actually filming, we were just kind of chatting and I filmed a little bit of B-roll, and then we got to the top of that, headed down the other side, took a left-hand turn and then started climbing up the big valley which heads up to the top of Andorra and the Porta Envalira. We went up through Soldeu and then the further up we got, the deeper the snow got on the side of the road. So that made it really, really beautiful. There's some nice snow around. There's going to be a lot more in the next few days. And then we got to the top of the Porta Envalira, said bye to Ben. I started descending down past the Andorra border and into France where I am now. So I'm just climbing up the Port Poimerens and then I head all the way down a long valley down towards Puigcerdà, which is in Spain, and I'm going to go and grab a coffee there. So I'm going to keep rolling, stay warm, and I'll chat to you guys soon. road closed because this is the border of France and Spain. This is the border, crossing over the border. Feels a bit illegal, but you know, you do these things. No passports required when you come by this way. And I'm into Spain. So that's my little coffee stop out the way. I just had a little coffee in the sun there in that beautiful little square in Puigcerdà, which is a town about halfway into this ride. I'm just a bit over 80 kilometers now. Yeah, I was hoping my favorite cafe, Nord-Est, was going to be open, but Nord-Est was not open. So had a little sit in the sun in that square anyway. And now, as a majority of the climbing and the descending is out the way for this ride, I've got a long section along the Cerdanya Valley headed to La Seu d'Urgell now. About 45 k's to get there, pretty much flat the entire way. So this is the long flat section at the bottom of this loop. So I best crack on. One of the things that's cool about this ride is that because you're passing through 3 different countries and a huge difference in altitude over the course of the ride, you pass through totally different weather conditions and also scenery. When we started, the Wahoo was saying 1 degree, so it's quite chilly at about 10 a.m. Started climbing up to the top of Envalira, and it actually got really warm up the top of the mountain, even though there was snow everywhere. It was about 8 degrees and I was sweating pretty heavily by the top there. And then you descend down off there, all the snow goes. And I'm now down in the Cerdanya Valley, and there's these amazing yellow trees around the final moments of fall, like you would have seen in that last video. It's super nice to ride through here, and it's about 10 degrees, so it's actually quite warm. And then I think by the time I get back to Andorra, once sunset's happened, it's going to be back down to a couple of degrees. If you watched episode 1, the very first episode I put out 11 months ago now, when I rode back from Andorra to Girona, this was the valley I was coming along when it was like -4 degrees. Super cold, and I had a headwind. Thankfully today it's not too windy. I've got a very slight headwind going this way, but it's very manageable. One of the reasons I'm doing the loop this way is because I wanted to front load the ride with climbing as well. So I got all the climbing out the way at the start, then a lot of descending, a bunch of flat, and a bit of climbing at the end. One of the things with going anti-clockwise is that sure, you descend down out of Andorra and it's a very nice start, but then you've got all the climbing in the second half of the ride. So for this early in the season, I'm trying to avoid doing too much really hard stuff in the 5th hour of rides. I'm just sticking to the front-loaded climbing and then a cruise in at the end. So I passed through La Seu down there. That was the lowest point of the ride. Altitude-wise, 700 meters right at the very bottom. When you get to La Seu, if you're doing this ride, you get to La Seu, you turn right and you start heading north. And right now I'm heading uphill up the valley from La Seu to Andorra. Luckily, it's not that far. Then I get to Andorra, the Andorran border, and then I keep climbing all the way up to La Massana where I'm staying. Okay, so I made it into Andorra, but now I'm having a little bonk. First time in a while. It's good to get the first bonk of the season out of the way. Done 140 Ks, about 5 hours. Got about 20 kilometers to go, 15 kilometers maybe, all uphill. I better get it done. Big day, pretty cooked now. Just did about 5 hours, 40 minutes. Just over 150 kilometers there, which is very nice. 3 different countries in a day, that's pretty cool. I went from Andorra into France, into Spain, and back into Andorra, the 3 Nations loop. If you want to see that ride, I'll chuck it on my Strava. And if you enjoyed watching that, definitely hit me with a like, smash the like button in true 2021 form. I'm going to go and eat a whole bunch of food now, maybe go and meet up with Ben and ask how his ride was. Surely easier than mine. I will see you guys in the next episode soon. Thanks so much. See you.